Well, let's see how the underdogs perform. We've both watched a lot of TYLOO, and we do love watching these players, but it's the question of whether they can compete against the best in the world. And really, regionally, they've been struggling, I feel like, a little bit, of course, against the likes of Lin Vision and the Mongols, especially to qualify for those big events, right? So that's the question mark that we need to figure out. Already the first kill goes the way of Nexa. Some aggression toward mid for G2, and Hooksy holding the line down B lane. They will give up the plant to TYLOO. Nico will hear that, obviously, give that information over to his teammates, and they'll play retake without a kit.
Also got a little bit of alert going on, but it might all be null and void if all the players on the bomb site keep getting dealt with. There's Mercury, but he only finds one. So ZDR now left completely isolated. That bomb can just be stuck, and Nexa even just confirms it. Solid retake from G2.
Yeah, that's exactly the start they wanted. I mean, it's obviously when it's your first map of Pro League, you might be in a situation where, well, you could start a bit slow. You saw that with Saw yesterday. I'm not going to pretend that Saw and 3D Max was a bigger differential than TYLOO and G2, but they definitely started slow on a number of occasions. And if G2 started slow, then obviously there could be situations where TYLOO could build up a little bit of a lead early on and put some pressure on, but that relaxes things straight away. But as we know, the meta with the T-side bomb plant dictates the Galil force buy. TYLOO have some firepower to work with in round 2.
Yeah, come on, let's see something then. Mercury Kaze waiting patiently. Hooksy just patrolling out towards cave, and a good flash sets Nico on the angle. This is just about containment for TYLOO right now. They're just trying to get as many pieces of information as possible to best construct their mid-round. The issue is that G2 are a team that are very intrusive when it comes to taking space, already denying that B ramp, so you can't look for these angles on the Galil, which will force you into cave, which again forces you into an SMG.
Yeah, absolutely. Just feeling out the map, TYLOO, at the moment. Everyone's got a smile on his face, which is a good sign. You want TYLOO to be feeling sort of free and loose in a game like this, knowing they're massive underdogs. No pressure on TYLOO whatsoever in this game. The pressure is weirdly on G2 to make it easy and comfortable, as it so should be. But as I said, first game of Pro League can always be a bit squeaky. 35 seconds. Looks like we're going in toward A. Nexa is here with the M4. He's got Manizzi support in Donut with the FAMAS. Multiple force him wide, actually choosing to play the Cubby instead. Manizzi tries his frag, and then Nico helps out as well. From that CT position, he actually gets 2 in the end. Nexa goes down, bomb plant will be attempted, then Nico just holds W and gets himself a 3rd. Good work from ZDR. It's actually a 2 versus 2 here. Bomb can go down. Look at that, they're split across the map right now. There's a lurk through B, and actually both G2 rotators are coming in from Donut and Big Flank. ZDR needs to try and stay alive for as long as possible, but he can't. And now Mercury needs to get his skates on.
Drops in the site, and Mercury's here just in time. So there's every world in which he could swing and potentially deny, but Hunter's on the angle and it's not planted for him. That was the crucial gunfight. Doesn't quite pan out. It's interesting to see that we've got, in 2 rounds now, really late lurks out of TYLOO, just on the other side of the map. And that hasn't really come into a full effect yet for them, but I wonder if that's something they're going to implement further forward. But this is a really good round. Even with the force investment, they still make this competitive. They still make it a 2-on-2, and they get the bomb down. So they're already posing questions to G2 quite early on.
Yeah, there's been some question marks over ZDR individually as well, and that is a good sign from him early doors to at least get some work done like that. Nice little spray through the smoke, through Donut to get that trade. Obviously, he knew the information there. A good recovery from G2 again. Hunter knew the right angle to hold. And the control that he's got on shelf easily deals with JamYoung through that smoke. Can ball back and play flash support as well. There actually will Scarpa into Jaguar and through cave. And now Hooksy's under a little bit of pressure. Mercury running him down with a Tech 9. Drive-by. 4 versus 4.
Yeah, TYLOO
down on B again.
3 bomb plants in 3 rounds. And suddenly, G2 were thrown into another retake boost up as well. ZDR on the off angle with the M4, hoping to spot out Manizzi, and he does.
Nice.
This is quickly turning a little bit sour for G2. Plenty of time here on this retake. They didn't buy a kit again, But I guess it doesn't matter if Nex is just finding all of the shots immediately, even through the wall. Hunter will now start to stick the digits. Mercury said DR really trying their best to spam, but none of it is connecting. Mercury potentially could swing. Oh, and he's killing everyone. Mercury saves the round. It's the Tech 9 for TYLOO. And they survive. They win it out against G2.
I mean, you brought it up, Brandon. I think the biggest issue for G2 there is nothing to do with the retake, nothing to do with that sort of position they put themselves in against Mercury. They didn't buy a kit. And we know G2 and bomb diffusers and kits in the past have been a bit of a question mark. And I think it's kind of an oversight for Nexus to have, what was it, 1750 in the bank? And to know that they've had to face 2 bomb plants in the last couple of rounds. And lack of diffuse kit cost them. That is a great round to win if you're TYLOO. G2 have not had a chance to build up their bank yet. They're going to fully force MP9, D-Eagles and 5-7. And TYLOO, a weaponry advantage.
I really
here.
like this call as well. You just send it straight in towards A on an execute because you know the utility is going to be barren, or at least there's going to be a compromise between that and the weaponry. JamYoung, though, gets absolutely deleted by Munacy, and now the smokes just provide a safe barrier. And TYLOO, oh, they're actually just going to run through it. Nex is also in the smoke. Cat and mouse, potentially with the SMGs. Nex are pressed up against a few of them, but can only find the first.
Oh, but the Deagles are here. Nico finds one. And now Mercury, the hero of the previous round, unfortunately, is very stuck. And G2, oh, they can just win any round like that, can't they? With that force buy. Lovely on the Deagles. Hooksy getting a little bit fired up there, saying, that's more like it. Can't be losing the rounds against the pistols. Let's win one back. Oh, that's a great reaction from Munacy. And yeah, I mean, I thought Nexa with this smoke play was actually going to do a lot more work than just the one. I've seen multiple instances of that play working out for a multi-kill, but in the Deagles on Nico, as you'd expect, look very clean indeed. Early CAC timeout for TYLOO.
Look, even with Nexa making that play, sure, he goes 1 for 1, but at the end of the day, what's he done? He's created a lot of space for the team to rotate in and be here in time. Notice how TYLOO, once her attention is shifted off of Nexa and back onto the bomb site, you've got 2 players fighting Donut. There's already Nico in towards CT and Temple, so it did generate a lot of room for G2. So a fantastic round back immediately. It puts a little dampener onto the otherwise, I'd say, pretty warm start from TYLOO. I've been very impressed with what they've been providing, and I feel like that's the only round we didn't see that had a bomb plant. So they've got more than enough money to invest in. There won't be an AWP for Kaze. In fact, he goes down to a Tech 9. So they could definitely try and make something happen. They've been very good at getting onto the bomb sites. It's just a question of holding.
Ancient does kind of lean that way, and it sometimes, doesn't it? I mean, very often a CT side will play retake on A, probably the most retakeable bomb site in the entire game, A on Ancient. So they're happy to try that. Well, Hooksy, a little bit lost in the sauce there for a second, but with that saved Mac 10 over from the previous round, he's choosing to stick with it, even though it's up against 3 AKs. So he's going to have to stay maneuverable, is Hooksy, in this round on the defense to make sure that Mac 10 does the work. TYLOO will rotate round, pick up the bomb in spawn, and looks like they will be setting up for A again. I have seen them be a little bit guilty of going through those smokes a little bit too often toward the A site. We saw Nexa almost punish them with more than just the one in that previous round. So looks like they're going to have some freedom this time, however. Mercury trying to have a look toward Jaguar. There's the spot on Hooksy. He's just playing the jiggle to pop the smoke down. And there is that smoke outside A. 40 seconds. TYLOO looks like they're going to wait it out.
You see, Hunter was already looking just in case TYLOO wanted to go for that play again. Instead, it's going to be a nice little setup here. Munacy going to have the first contact. Hunter also playing anti-flash, staring at Donut. Here, Rain in the smokes, but it doesn't feel like a commitment whatsoever. Munacy trying to find this kill, but it's ZDR that actually strikes first on towards Hunter. This was filming to be a B play, but instead they're going to try and wrap through mid, go into Donut, but they need to get past Munacy, who's in A main. Full blinded though, Kaze will deal with him. The bomb potentially can be put down, especially with that one from JamYoung.
Holy hell, what a strategy that was from TYLOO. Put pressure outside A. You're balked by a smoke. You have one player making a bit of a fake toward that B bomb site. ZDR's still providing kills for main, and you go through mid, through donut, back to A, not even to the opposite site. I mean, with the time on the clock, that might have been their only choice. They've got to make sure they confirm it now. Nexa's still fighting for this one. He has got a kit this time, has Nexa, but you know, I really think there's definitely no time for this anymore. He's just playing for exits, trying to limit the T economy, and he does well to take JamYoung, but what a strat that was from TYLOO. Limited by the clock short, which is why they chose what they did, but they hit the shots. You saw Nico run through that CT smoke. He tried, well, that was close. He tried to deny the bomb plant, knowing it was coming through with 5 seconds on the clock. See that smoke there, smacking Monazy. ZDR does well to readjust and actually take Hunter out. This is the flash that comes through, and Kaze takes Monazy while he's basically full blind. There's Nico trying to deny the plant as I suspected, but JamYoung's got his number.
Good reaction to immediately resetting towards Donut there, because it felt like with Mercury, who was scaling B ramp at the time with 20 seconds, that if he found a kill, TYLOO would maybe just try and reevaluate and go over to B instead. But I don't think I think they realized just in the nick of time that they didn't actually have enough seconds on the clock to even put the bomb down on B. So they throw it all in towards Donut instead. And it's that split-second call that completely overwhelms G2. They're just not ready for it. So that's a very cool round. And I think what we saw as well from the defense of G2, following back to your point early, where you're saying, look, A is probably one of the most easiest sites to retake, is what's becoming a little bit meta now on the CT side is actually leave A completely open to kick off your campaign. You'll fight 2 in towards mid, you'll send 3 over towards B and shelf. That's what happened last round. Instead, that's not going to be the case, and a fast play in towards B immediately. TYLOO churned up a little bit by the utility. They nearly line up for Nico, but JamYoung gets the best of him, and Hooksy can only find one on the Mac 10. Another bomb site barraged by TYLOO.
And another round that Hooksy had to play with the Mac 10. Oh, ZTR's going to lurk this smoke. Oh, the timing. Nexa caught off guard. ZDR's being a bit of a nuisance for G2 in these early stages. We mentioned Advent. We know that his individual level is not up to par. ZDR hasn't really had the numbers either recently. Advent can afford to maybe be a little bit lower in the scoreboard, as he's, of course, the leader. Been lots of question marks about whether he should still be on the team. They announced, of course, he was benched, and he's back in again. No matter how much searching we do, it's hard to find a definitive answer on what TYLOO's plan is with that. But TYLOO trust Advent. I think Advent trusts the organization as well. What a great round to win for TYLOO again. Evening up at 3 apiece, and this opening half very interesting now. You can see the fast speed play coming through, and JamYoung, that's the kind of kills we need to see him get. Those sort of clean entries. Kaze, I think, actually kills Hooksy through his teammate there, as we see it from his POV. The phase from ZDR is perfect. So, round 7, and we're evens with G2 on a weird buy.
This buy is a little bit wacky, isn't it? And it's pretty much dismantled instantly. Yeah, there's the rifle.
And it's gone.
They're in mid. Nexa. Maybe a Nexa 5-7 moment in Donut? Not quite. And ZDR is still lurking. And TYLOO just keep enforcing this play. Always one lurker on the extremity, waiting patiently to punish these rotates. And it has caught G2 off on a number of these rounds. They take the lead.
Nice from ZDR. Wasn't it like Maui or someone who tweeted that he's like, if you search up his name, the only result you find is not a Counter-Strike player, but like a space engineer or something in like a Chinese university? Honestly. Well, he's engineering something now. He's putting G2 into the stratosphere, perhaps. What a great start to the game. JamYoung straight out through mid. TYLOO not holding back. Staying aggressive, getting that control. Hunter, of course, is not to know whether they've got toward the mid boxes yet. Even when he breaks open that smoke. And looks like G2 are going to try and respond. Flash coming through. In comes the fight. And Mercury. Oh, he takes both Nico and Hooksy. It's beautiful. Monazy will deal with Mercury. And there is Hunter. Great recovery straight off the bat from G2 just when they were under pressure.
I'm just forcing the issue onto TYLOO. And even though it works out in favor of TYLOO over towards B ramp, this time the players in mid are just cut off. TYLOO looking to reset here. 2 players heading towards that B bomb site. m0NESY has now been spotted, but information goes both ways. Hunter can now smoke off cave, and as TYLOO, they'll still continue to burst. The spam doesn't connect whatsoever. So yet again, we're in a situation where G2 have to retake a bomb site. Ouch.
Oh my goodness. Kaze trying just to play the time. But that default position is a bit more wallbangable than you really think. So it's Advent, of all people, in a 1 versus 3. Can the old Chinese legend run back the clock? Timing peak, perhaps. You can hear the players crossing the angle, and he gives it a go. Fair play on the swing to try and at least catch one and then play behind the cave position. But m0NESY deletes it immediately, as he so should. Another quick fire shot from him. It's what we expect, and G2 stay in touch. Weird thing to say, but they do.
Yeah, I feel like this is what G2 are gonna have to do a little bit more. Just be a little bit more proactive. Don't be scared of sort of what's been happening in the first sort of 8 rounds. There's been a lot of retakes, which means money's still pretty decent here for TYLOO. Kaze even on the AWP as well, and that's something that's really been limited for m0NESY. Not yet seen him on the sniper whatsoever. But he didn't work out last round, that's fine. They'll go back to A, and m0NESY, if he pushes his elbow smoke, he'll have a very quick timing on the flank. ZDR spots one, but can't get the best of HooXi.
Oh. HooXi had a... thought he was dead to rights there. ZTR had him locked in that little cubby in lane, but couldn't deal with it. And m0NESY is doing exactly what you're saying. This could be pretty tasty. Keep an eye on that mini-map. Keep an eye on his timing. I don't think anyone is questioning that at the moment. G2 is still trying to make noise elsewhere to stop this from being guessed. It's checked at the last second, but just not in time. And he gets a 2-piece. Could even make it 3. It's gorgeous for m0NESY. And G2 will retake a 5-4 lead.
Yeah, I'd tell you what though, I really like the variation out of TYLOO. I like the fact that they are mixing in these slow controlled rounds where they're poking and prodding all over the map, trying to just keep the defense rooted, and at the same time just going for these explosive plays. This one's a little bit faster out the T side, immediately in towards A. They're able to overwhelm, but the issue is, and what m0NESY highlights, is where there's not enough sort of consideration or pressure being applied at the early stages of the round, it just means you've got all these options open to flank, and TYLOO just weren't ready for this play whatsoever. Good timing on the swing with Hunter and Nico coming out of tempo at exactly the same time m0NESY comes around the corner, so even if one falls as a guaranteed trade.
Absolutely. Fight for m0NESY on shelf as the smoke goes up. He's got Hunter support. Oh, that nade, I was going to say, it might just smack Mercury right in the chest. Puts him down to 37, but he does get Jaguar control from it. Does HooXi give it a hard clear? He is just jiggling right now. Maybe actually he isn't aware that they could already be in. Because if Mercury actually does shift up here, he would catch HooXi with a smoke out. ZDR putting pressure on A in the meantime. Say putting pressure. I think he's being pretty silent about it at the moment. The bomb is gravitating toward that side of the map, and looks like Mercury's going to try to provide a frag on that lurk, which, as you've mentioned already, Brandon, does kind of put them in an interesting position in these rounds. It's often worked out in the early stages. G2 have had to figure them out, and let's see if Nexa can figure them out now. He manages to deal with ZTR. Good timing on the incendiary as well. ZTR goes early, and that's when Mercury pounces. Okay, that's a kill in response, and now he'll go down to Nico, but they have left the equation immediately. They've left Kaze here to try and still sell it, but the bomb is crossing mid, and they're going straight into m0NESY. Oh, they're doing it again! Kaze has won the duo, and the duel on Nexa, and Hunter has to step up. He only gets the one, and Nico coming in from CT. You're absolutely right, Brandon. They are doing it again. Nico, 1v2. Kaze low. A chance to do something with this. Low HP. Oh, JamYoung tagged down as well. And now he knows the position of both players. But JamYoung finds it. What another round to win for TYLOO.
They just run it right back. They run it right back because G2 didn't see the donut wrap in the previous time of asking. And as soon as Mercury gets this kill, you see the retreat out of A main. G2 think, well, potentially this is going to be a B play. With Nico getting that kill, that confirms things over towards B, but it also delays his timing. TYLOO just win these fights because they double up and they fight 2-on-1 in a number of these players. I really like this. You're double faking, but you're also double faking the site that you're actually going to hit in the first place. HooXi finally taking matters into his own hands, deals with Mercury, ZDR over the top. That's a fantastic double to get.
Yeah, good stuff from HooXi at the right time. Been a fun opening half, and TYLOO very happy to say it's being kept very competitive here. We just want a close game for the content, for the entertainment. And now we could have some content on our hands here because Mr. m0NESY has his AWP out. TYLOO preparing a execute with their final 3 players, but the AWP takes point as it so should, and m0NESY does it again, doubles up beautifully. It's down to JamYoung. He should get peeked as that Molotov gets put down. He does remove Hunter. Quick fake. So we've got plenty of time actually to play with these fakes as JamYoung here. But of course, only half health. And G2, there's no need to throw any of their bodies in on this one. AWP will be picked up. Can he save it? The answer is no. They're already there, of course, holding the line, holding the escape, and Nexa takes it. G2 guaranteed at least a tie on the
well
half.
Done from G2, because despite all of these antics, the one thing that G2 can do is just make their structure consistent, and that's with their defaults. Good find here from HooXi, and then he immediately gets set up via flashbang. So suddenly you neutralize half the control of the map immediately. It means m0NESY can be set up on this angle. That's actually a team flash. You see it fly over m0NESY's shoulder that blinds up Advent for m0NESY to find that second kill. Feels like it could actually be a 7-5 here for G2 because it's Mac 10, a couple of pistols. Need Kaze and JamYoung to pop off with the AKs here for TYLOO.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Slow positioning, and oh, you mentioned pop off with the AKs. Nice little boost there, and Kaze just deletes Nico. Not with a weapon we've come to know that Kaze uses over the years. But a lovely catch. It gives them an advantage. Mercury, he once again has Jaguar control, but Hunter and HooXi are playing this one nicely together. One player up, one player down. This is going to be impossible for Mercury to do much with, even with this, if this flash works out. Oh, I say that. He actually does fantastically well to deal with HooXi. Usually that's impenetrable, but thankfully, for G2's sake, m0NESY is often impenetrable. And once again, they're trying this fake through mid, through Donut. And I think ZDR should be able to get this bomb plant ahead of Nexa.
And Nexa's going to have to wait as well. And now we look at Kaze and his positioning over towards Shelf. If he can find Hunter, then this creates a lot of pressure being applied to G2, but it goes the other way. And now the shoe's on the other foot. And notice how all these players are isolated now from TYLOO. JamYoung on an island. ZDR just trapped in Donut with a P250. Time's ticking down. Of course, there's kits on these players, but JamYoung takes the fight. Immediate trade, and now ZDR. They've got to find him. They've got to gut him out of Donut, and they haven't seen him on the bomb site. Hunter turns around and will lock it in. Oh, m0NESY will stick the defuse, so just about G2 gets 7-5 as the half rolls over.
Hunter, Yo.
How we doing, Matt?
All good, brother. And you?
I'm not too bad. How do you feel about being back in Malta?
I feel good, honestly. Like, I can't wait to play more official games.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you've been. Well, you get a lot of officials in this format.
Yeah. We just arrived from China. Before China, we played the major. So,
Yeah.
like, it's packed schedule, but I like it for now. And I just can't wait to play on Wednesday again.
Okay, yeah, the season's rolling right now. Now,
Really here,
yeah.
Huh? How do you like it?
Look, it's a holiday destination. That's why I picked this one. And the tax is pretty good and the weather's nice.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Everything good.
Yeah, now,
Weather is not so nice.
not right now.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. How's everything going with the photos, the SSD setup, everything good?
Everything good so far. Now we have some interviews and skits, I think. So, yeah.
What do you think about the new setup, being able to face the opponent again?
Very good, very good. Looking
with that?
forward, looking forward to play. I think it's very good.
Okay. All right, let me ask Nexus some questions. He's getting in the zone. Next up, how we doing, buddy?
Good, good.
You're here, it's Pro League, you ready to have a good time?
Yeah, haven't played Pro League in quite some time, but nice to be here in Malta.
Yeah, look, well, you're doing the team speed, that's good. Yeah, one of the most important things to do during the setup, I'd say.
Yep, for sure.
We got any news, anything that you want to share with us? Anything that's happened in the week from China to here?
No, I feel like I just came back from China yesterday and now I'm already in Malta, so
Yeah, did a few loads of laundry?
yeah, just laundry and that's it.
He has better life in OG.
Oh, wow. They probably didn't hear that one, but that's all right. We'll get that removed. Now, we're coming to Pro League. It's not necessarily the most high-stakes event because it's a studio LAN event. How do you motivate yourself for something like this?
Just motivated for every tournament. Just happy to be here, bring the good vibes and
Bring good vibes, happy to be here, playing up to the memes.
yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
I can simulate my own life, but live within my walls.
A respectable opening half for Pro League for TYLOO, but now they have to face the barrage of G2 on their T side of Ancient, Brandon.
Yeah, I feel like we just saw in the break there, Chad posed an interesting question to Nexer. He said, where it's a studio LAN, like how do you motivate yourself to keep performing at this high level? I feel like there's a lot more motivation potentially here, especially in this opening match for TYLOO. And hello, what's this? Rather than going towards A, they're heading straight towards B. Advent sees the whole roster of G2 and does a lot of damage. But Hooksy finds the opener. It's IGL and IGL Violence, and the dual Berettas can't find anything within the hands of Mercury because Hunter is just taking names.
He can even deal with JamYoung long range now as well. He's hit one bullet, which means the dualies from this range probably will be a one-hit headshot on JamYoung. Flash over the top, spots the second as well. I think he realizes both are there. Yes, he does. He's got this all in the palm of his hand, does Hunter. There's another, looking for a quad kill. ZDR locked in the corner. Moneyzy looks for a kill for himself, and he'll take it instead. Lovely from G2. Advent getting overrun. And sadly, his 1-10 start to this game is very much on par for his form.
I'll tell you what, though, it's good to see Hunter hit the ground running.
Agreed.
Right, already like 16 kills. I think he got this one here as well, right at the very end. So there we go. Pose the question. He's answered the call. Highest performing player just on the server in
great
general.
to see. Of course, there'll be a lot tougher tests in Pro League for G2 to come, but even though we're both TYLOO enjoyers, I think we know the reality of the situation. It was a great fight from TYLOO on the first half. Now they're in a tough position, very tough position. Full eco, G2 know that this should be, once they figured out at least one player has a default pistol, we'll know this is a freebie round. 9-5, TYLOO will get the guns out, trying to get M4s as quickly as possible rather than forced in this one. Hunter holding in the boxes in mid, spots the shoulder of JamYoung, and now he'll get rushed down to put a smoke down to defend himself, and actually helped out by Nexa. He does get spammed down in the end by Kaze, but There's Nico getting a couple as well. Nicely done, G2. 4 alive. Building up that T-side economy early doors.
Yeah, this is where it gets dangerous, to be honest, because where you're on the T side, if you're TYLOO, you can kind of weave in all of these sort of confusing and complicated mid-rounds to kind of keep G2 guessing. Now the issue is you're just going up against G2 on T side Ancient, and they're the ones that can be in control potentially of the majority of these gunfights. So all of the fights will probably be on their own terms. So it's up to TYLOO now. They've got the guns in play to really force the issue and get a reaction out of G2. We saw that with Hooksy as he was over towards Shelf for scaling, taking that B space. Very common thing for CT sides to do. So I'll be interested to see how the AWP sets up as well. Maybe Kaze, rather than prioritizing the temple angle on A, maybe goes in towards mid and try and helps fight and get space early for TYLOO, because I feel like that's what they need, something to hold on to in the round and make G2 tussle for it.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. With that full eco, Kaze has just enough to be able to buy a glass cannon AWP. As you can see, exactly 4,750 purchased. But of course, he's going to be very squishy, so let's see if he can do some work with it. Nap 10 of Hooksy up close. Mercury will be flashed in. Good reaction. Advent. There's some nice impact there with the flash assist. It's his job on this team to set up his stars. Works out for Mercury. Nico locked behind the Molotov. Almost actually deals with Advent as he hops back behind the side. But a really important opening frag for TYLOO in this opening gun round of this second half.
They got really good space as well. That they had mids, they've now fallen back off it. ZDR is just jiggling in case the G2 reset and take control. But the smoke in towards elbow is only just fading. So instead, Munasty is going to fight for control in towards Cheetah. But it'll be Nico that claims the lives of both. And that's a really good opportunity now for G2 because they can now throw this into a B execute. And JamYoung is the only player remaining who needs to go big with a multi-kill here.
For JamYoung. Finding Nico would be good. And he actually goes for a swing on timing. Actually works out nicely for him. He deals with Nexa. Would have liked one more. Now this makes it ever more difficult because, of course, Kaze... Oh, okay, here we go. Kaze is on that glass cannon AWP, but we are actually transporting the bomb over to the opposite side. 22 seconds, that's more than enough time to get this sorted. But I think Kaze realizes that he could be here and could be dealing with Nico at the perfect timing. What is the pathing like for Nico? Oh, he's a lucky boy. Kaze misses the shot, and Nico will be allowed that plant. If that bomb was dropped to the floor, that was round done. Kaze had a chance, couldn't deliver. But there's still a chance for TYLOO to get back into this one. Hunter will have to team up with Nico. That's exactly what he will do. Deals with ZDR nicely, and I think Kaze realizes that there's no point fighting for this anymore. It's crazy, isn't it? Millimeters and fractions in Counter-Strike mean that TYLOO, unfortunately, can't take their opening gun round, and G2 squeak a 10th and double digits.
Yeah, takes their own medicine for TYLOO, and it nearly comes back to bite G2 as well. The fact that Nico is... You use the term squishy to describe Kaze. I'll use that to describe Nico as well, right? 11 HP as he's transporting the bomb over. But it all works out in the end, and it's crucial that once Hunter just gets into Donut and he's now sort of setting up this crossfire with Nico, like you can never really retake this, especially with Hunter just being on 20 kills. It would all depend on him not looking the right way on ZDR and his timing to walk in. Good collection of kills here, and the round was really competitive right until the very end. As soon as the bomb gets put down and this kill gets locked in.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, fine margins there for TYLOO. Fine margins that they need to try and work with, but Kaze's hit a collat, and that sets up Advent on the P250, but Mercury with the 5-7 still doing some damage. Okay, a 2-on-2. Nexus 40 HP. Kaze, his HP doesn't matter because he's on the AWP. TYLOO could steal this one away.
At this one, if JamYoung can just somehow get into the action with that CZ, he's got Kevlar. They're now with the bomb down, and with TYLOO allowing G2 to get into some good after plant positions here, it's going to make it ever harder as the time ticks on. At least they've got that smoke on JamYoung picked up. He can block off Nexa. A tap on the bomb will come through. Kaze is trying to hold the line, but Manisi's now playing the cubby, and that's so hard to deal with if you're the CZ player. And there goes Kaze. JamYoung now stuck in the open. Manisi swings, and G2, to be fair to them, in the midst of the madness, they've done well to recover that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. As soon as they're able to get into positions that can formulate an afterplant, it gets way too difficult for these pistols to not only have the element of surprise, but to close them down. Because Manisi takes a step back. He's playing deeper in towards ramp. Nexa never reveals himself until the last possible moment, but he can guarantee the kill or set up Manisi for this headshot on towards JamYoung. It's really well played in such a chaotic moment for G2.
Immediate battle in the following round in mid. Utility fight commences once again. Manisi down to 45. Trying to break up in that smoke. Maybe looking to try and get control of B lane, of course, because it's such an important part of the map. If CTs have control of it, you can lock them out, and they didn't realize it was a double setup there between JamYoung and Mercury. That's actually pretty nice from TYLOO. That little tiny cubby, which we saw Hooksy get a kill from earlier on, of course, on G2, CT half, can very often be overlooked. And obviously, when there are two players there baiting each other in, it will be overlooked. So they get a 2-for-1. G2 forced to Scarpa.
And it's all about just making sure you don't trip over your own shoelaces here if you're TYLOO. You've got the advantage. You have all this control. Where ZDR has spotted Hunter in towards middle, that's going to keep him rooted for just a couple of extra seconds. I like the Mercury's come over towards Cave because it frees up ZDR to go donut and support Kaze. Manisi on the angle, but Kaze is that little bit faster, and ZDR steps in as well. There's that support network for TYLOO, and it throws it all onto Nexa in a 1-on-4. There's 20 seconds left. It feels like his bell is just about to be rung. And that's a very good round from TYLOO. I really like the fact that they just take a step back. They kind of weigh up what's going on in the round. And the fact that Mercury steps in over towards Cave and just allows ZDR that rotation is everything. Because if this kill goes the other way, suddenly you're in a lot of trouble if you're TYLOO.
Actually a really well played hold there from TYLOO. Like their best CT round yet, without a doubt. And yeah, the problem is it can't be a flash in the pan when you're 11-6 behind. Gonna have to double down on this. Hunter down to a Tech 9, but G2 with a full purchase otherwise, just lacking the money to AWP. He's on an AK, he's fine. No worries. Will it be no worries for G2? TYLOO trying their best to stay in touch in this game. Mercury's put up a great performance. I mentioned his name, of course, and he realizes that Jaguar has now been taken. See the shadows of the smoke. A nice little double setup. Advent's actually been forced into Cave, though, and he'll get taken down straight away. Do they check Mercury in the corner? No, they don't, but it's only Hooksy to go down, and JamYoung tries a quick trade. Gets absolutely demolished by Nico, though.
Yeah, that's a save. That's a forced one by TYLOO. Damn, that's so rough. The second kill from Nico was just so sick, and that just completely shuts down everything. I like the idea of having Advent being that bait setup for Mercury, but the instantaneous trades out of G2 just makes things very complicated there for that CT side. Bomb set to explode. G2 about to go up to map point, and TYLOO's map pick looked really good in this first half.
Terrorists win.
And we've seen some good rounds out of TYLOO, but now they need to be perfect for, well, a lot in a row.
Yeah, indeed. That second shot from Nico there is so strong. Puts G2 up to 12. He should be feeling pretty comfortable now. TYLOO have to find the magic that came back in that previous round, of course. That got them that 4 alive CT round. DR tries to play aggressive on the timing, but just as he swings, he puts his crosshair in that specific angle, is when Munazi takes his head off. Hunter deals with the other one as well, and 21-8 for Hunter, having a great game. You questioned him, and he's delivered straight away. It'll be tougher tests. The series is by no means over yet. But yeah, this first map, I think, is done. 5 versus 2 for G2. Kaze has a kit, he has a flash, but we know what's going to happen with this one. Nexa pushes forward, takes the kill. Kaze's about to get, well, quintuple swung, perhaps. He gets 1, and there's the second coming through for Nexa. He deals with it, and G2 take a very comfortable, in the end, 13-6 on Ancient.